I learned a lot of my organic gardening from my grandmother, and I honestly don't remember that she had a mulch pile. And some of the organic gardening I learned from my dad. But I do remember both of them used to dig a trench in the garden that they would throw the organic matter in. It'd be already dug, and they'd dig it up, and they had a trench, and they'd throw it in there, and then they would cover it up, and it would be already dug and ready to go for the organic matter, so they didn't have to fool with it. I really can't do that in my garden because I don't really want a trench to be exposed, but I am going to dig somewhat of a trench and bury my organic matter that I've saved through the winter in a trench, and it won't necessarily feed my plants this year, but it'll break up some of the clay and add nutrition and nutrients to the ground that's here and really feed the plants later on, just globally. So I'm going to dig a ditch here. And cover it up with dirt and let it decay, and it will bring a lot of worms into the garden, which worms are very beneficial for your garden. They add oxygen to the soil, and they do their little tunneling in their worm leavings, which are called worm tea, are great fertilizer for the garden. So you always try to get worms to come into your garden. And if you can see this lighter color material here is more like clay. That's the material that I want to break up, and that's what organic matter will do. It'll break up that clay make it into rich black dirt. And I need more of that rich black dirt in my garden. That'll probably be enough of a trench. We'll find out. And I saved my organic matter in plastic coffee containers. And I fill it up and I put it out on a porch where it'll stay cold and it doesn't smell. And then in the summer, I just dump it in my garden. This is the same thing you can do if you have a mulch pile. All you have to do is go dump it in your mulch pile. So I'm going to dump this in. There was a lot of coffee grounds and potato peelings and onion leftovers. Coffee grounds are great. You can see how sloppy it is. That's a lot of oranges. That smells nasty. This is some frozen corn apparently we didn't eat, and I put in there, and potato peelings and tomatoes peelings. When I'm doing canning, I have a lot of tomato peelings that I put back into the garden. It's great organic matter. And this is my last container. You can see that it starts getting moldy, but that won't hurt anything. This is fuller and hasn't broken down a lot because it's a brand new one from my house. Then I rinse these out and start all over filling them up again and bring them back down to the garden. I don't really have a mulch pile. I just mulch right into the garden. Eventually I probably am going to make one, but right now I just dig into the garden. And if I was real organized, I would have a trench built for the wintertime and just pour the stuff in the trench. Can't smell it when it gets cold. Stuff gets very aromatic once you get it covered up though. Can't smell it, bugs won't get to it, flies won't get to it, but the worms will, and that's what you want. Okay.